Today is day one of a kind of experiment that I'm doing. Right now, there's only one symptom of depression that you need to know about which is bothering me, and that is the lack of motivation, lack of energy. It's a big sort of bundle of things that come together that just basically mean I do nothing all day, which I'll admit is normal for a lot of people, but it wasn't always this way for me. It's something that has gotten worse and worse, and as I've beaten other sides of depression, it's this one that's always stayed and gotten worse, and it seems to be the only bit of it that I can't actually find a way to beat. I can't reason my way around it, which is a peculiar thought, because you'd have thought the hardest bits to beat of depression would be the unreasonable bits, the totally emotional bits, but I find those bits actually quite easy to handle. I even enjoy them when they happen, when I sort of lose to it. But these bits, this apathy, it's the most unreasonable thing. I realised it wasn't always like this for me. Although I had a terrible time back in college when I was a teenager, I had a lot more sort of severe depressive episodes, like periods where I didn't get out of bed for full days, couldn't go into school because just literally walking through the door and going up a few stairs was guaranteed to give me a panic attack. Despite having classes 8 till 4 about 6 days of the week, and having acting classes pretty much all day on Sunday, I was able to do so much more fulfilled, and I had stuff to rail against: school, other people, Now there's nothing in my life to give me reason to be depressed, and I have nothing to rail against, and maybe that's why I feel so flat. The only thing I have to rail against is this depression, but it's just the lack of motivation, and I'm not motivated enough to rail against a lack of motivation. I would always find ways to put in the things that I loved. I'd have juggling sessions every day before bed. I'd draw in between classes, learn how to do coin sleights, and look up all my favourite thinkers, because for me, as a teenager, I used to find other teens particularly, but other people in general, just so irrational. And I was such a rational thing, despite my occasional super emotional episodes, that I just felt so... Well, it was less that I felt alien, it was more I felt like I was the only human, and why are all these aliens around me? YouTube was a haven for me. I could find all the people who thought good things about the world and saw the beauty in science, and that was a wonderful way for me to connect and feel normal. Just that thought that back then, even though I had those episodes that were so much worse than what I have now, in some ways, they were more severe, now I just get nothing done, life was better then. So I'm thinking maybe it was because of that routine. I'd get up at 6, have an hour of exercise / meditation, and not much exercise, it was literally just stretches mostly, and whatever strength / stamina stuff I felt like doing, with at least 15 minutes of meditation, quiet time for the mind, and it makes you feel so healthy, the exercise, and energetic, and then the meditation, it's what changes your mind. And this is a phrase I came up with earlier, which is gonna follow me and you throughout this journey, and that is, if you're depressed, if you can change your mind, you can change anything. It's great that, but I believe that is totally true. If you can change your mind, you can change anything. Particularly if you're depressed, because it's so much harder to change your mind. And depression, at least for me, meditation, at least for me, is a way I can surprisingly easily beat it, so long as I just go ahead and bloody do it. You have no idea how positive meditation is until you've tried it and gotten into it. This time, I had about 5 minutes of meditation before I went, I'm getting the camera out. And listen, I haven't got the camera out in, what, a month or something? Meditation, it just seems to beat this kind of depression so easily. I'm doing stuff, even if I don't upload this, I'm making a video, and that's wonderful. I'm getting a bit chilly lying on the floor wearing my exercise gear. I haven't actually done my exercise this morning, but this is day 1 in the experiment, and it's going quite well. I forgot what I was saying. I'm going to keep recording, and I'll talk to you more about what this experiment is, and maybe tips for if you want to try and emulate it, if you too are suffering from depression, or if you just want to try and get more energy in your life. So, yes, I'm doing very well, thank you very much. Goodbye! Goodbye, okay? Just go. I don't know. Did I get focus right? Oh no. This is my morning face. My eyebrows are slightly out of kilter, and oh, you can see my under eyes, and I haven't brushed my teeth, they're a little bit yellow. Sorry about that, I guess I should have scrubbed up for the internet, but I don't give a bottom.